So the week before last, I left the attractions of Cowtown, which would be cows, the smell of cows, cow employment, the smell of cows, and roadkill, where the vegetation is tumbleweed, for Oregon. And our first stop there was the Tillamook cheese factory. Very smart. So the night before our little trip to Oregon, I worked an overnight, where I worked 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I did not sleep at all before I was picked up to leave, and so I was pretty tired. I spent the entire night staring at the computer, playing surfing cow games, and word games best suited to second graders, because I have impressive maturity. I did read, though, but it was a book about pirates. Okay, it was Treasure Island. But I was determined to stay awake on the drive so that the driver wouldn't fall asleep, too. Of course, I partook in the usual head nod that tends to happen when you're sitting in a really boring drive across southern Idaho, where the pretty much only things you're going to see are roadkill, tumbleweed, and some hillbilly driving 95 miles an hour. But I fell asleep anyway, despite all of these amazing attractions. I fell asleep on my monkey pillow, more maturity, and to stay awake after I fell asleep, I ate Disney gummy snacks. But I was pretty jealous of my boyfriend because he had Mario snacks, and I only had Disney ones. More maturity there. Our first stop in Oregon was the Tillamook cheese factory, and Tillamook is basically Cowtown, where I live in southern Idaho, on steroids. I felt that we're not even remotely worthy of being called Cowtown after being there, and we're mere cow-tipping mortals here in southern Idaho. But I was a fat kid when I went to the cheese factory. I ate a lot of ice cream and cheese, which is bad because I was cheating on Ben & Jerry and the only cheap cheese that I can afford as a recent college grad in these current times, which basically consists of a cheese food brand, or something called cheese with 4 E's and a Z at the end of it. But while at the cheese factory, we stared at people, took stupid pictures, laughed when each other's cameras fell on the ground, and ate a lot of food. We ended up staying at the classy Motel 6, but it had a microwave. I wanted a veggie corn dog up in there. And also, when you stay at Motel 6, you have the opportunity to steal amenities like Motel 6 soap, plastic cups, and 1/16 ply toilet paper, as well as bed bugs. But after we checked in, we went to the beach. To get down to it, it was 60-plus steps. The fat kids that just went to the cheese factory weren't happy, but the sunset was worth it. And I tried to convince my boyfriend it's a good idea to go into Oregon water. Who needs legs? But it was a really nice sunset. I grew up in Hawaii, and it was nice being around the beachy sounds. It's better than moose and country music haunting you in your sleep. But after sleeping in a bed that may or may not have been washed since the first President Bush was in office, we drove off to the aquarium. That would be the Oregon Coast Aquarium in Newport. As a vegetarian, I should be opposed to it, but the otters were so cute. Our highlights were being 2 feet tall and not being able to see otters. Well, at least that was me. My boyfriend was a little bit taller, but he couldn't see them either. There was a sign that said "Seabirds Only." This obviously is because birds are literate, because land birds are so uncool, or it's an elaborate staging area so we can't see seabirds get made up. We went to the aquarium walkthrough where we both almost got eaten by sharks. Or we thought we were cool and took those pictures. When I was in Pisa, I was against everyone pushing the tower, but I'm okay with the sort of stereotypical aquarium pictures. But I love sharks, and I live by Tracy Jordan's words, live every week like it's Shark Week. So after being a shark whore, we went to the gift shop. And if you need cute otters, there's a ton of them there. And I definitely got one. And I saw 100 different types of turtles, and I needed those too. When we went to gift shops in Depot Bay, I needed the Echo salt and pepper shakers. Doesn't matter that I already have some. And obviously candles are better in Oregon, so I needed to buy them there. And if postcards are 4 for $1, I need to buy those. So basically anytime anything is sort of cheap and looks kind of cool, when you're on vacation, you have to buy it. And you come back with a bunch of stuff in your suitcase that you didn't know you got, as well as a bunch of sand. Speaking of sand, after another evening at the beach that night, we both took showers, and we ended up getting more sand off than the girls in the Song video probably had on them. There was sand in the car, sand on the carpet, sand in the shower, sand in the toilet, sand on the TV, sand on our faces, sand everywhere. But the next day, despite that, we ended up going to more sandy places. Whenever you go to Oregon, there seems to be signs that everything is historic. My favorite was, we drove past a sign that said, Senior Center Historic Coastline. Senior Center and Historic Coastline were supposed to be together, but I just imagined a bunch of historic old people. We also saw a sign called Super Oscar's Mexican Food, and we sat there kind of wondering what that guy did. Did he serve food in a cape? Did he take off his clothes and have an S painted on his chest? Did he take off his glasses and lay out some Dine and Dashers or 5-cent tippers? But later on that day, we did some historic whale watching, which had an historic cost of $18, and there was an historic lack of whales. We saw a buoy sea lion and a buoy sea lion tease that was sitting there going, oh, am I going to jump on? Oh, I don't know. Am I going to jump on? Oh, I don't know. Later that day, we went to Fuddy Duddy Fudge, and we cried about the no whales, and after seasickness, we ate a bunch of that. We went to the beach. We went to Safeway, where Conan's illegitimate son works, by the way. He cut produce and started eating it. He might not work there. He might just wear the Safeway uniform, but if you want to see a mini Conan, so you should probably go over there. And then after just a couple of days there, ended up waking up at 5 in the morning and driving home, where I did more head nods, slept on my monkey pillow some more, ate some more gummy snacks, and played with stuffed animals. And I'm pretty sure that I would have had as much fun if I was 12 years old.